All right. So there are these goals that you've had for a long time, right? These goals, these dreams, these things that you've been talking about to everybody and anybody who listened to you for years. You've been talking for years about you want to lose this weight, you want to get into the best shape of your life. You've been talking for years about you want to change careers, go back to school, do a different profession. You've been talking for years about you want to meet the love of your life, and yet you stay home every single day. You don't get out, you don't go on the online dating sites. I could go on and on, but you get my drift. For all of us, there are certain goals that if you really think back 5 years, you've been talking about achieving this one thing for 5 years, and you've been all talk and no action for 5 years. You've started, you've stopped, you've started, you've stopped. You've had periods where you've said, oh, it's just never going to change. I might as well just accept myself the way that I am. We all have it. So there is no judgment on the fact that I'm about to give you the one reason you're not changing what you say you want to change. Because we've all been there. In fact, most of us are probably still in one area or for one goal in our lives or one dream. We're still there. But here's the thing I want to talk about in today's IGTV episode. A lot of people beat themselves up about why they're not changing the things that they want to change. You know, they go, I know I need to lose this weight. I know I need to be healthier. I know I need to eat cleaner. I know, blah, blah, blah. And they do all of this self-berating, which is actually super counterproductive to taking DMA, daily massive action, by the way. So if you are beating yourself up for not achieving your goals, that's not actually really helpful. To me, and this is a side note, there is a difference between beating yourself up for not being motivated and calling yourself all kinds of names, lazy, not motivated, not focused. There's a difference between beating yourself up and having a get it together talk with yourself where you tell yourself the truth. And it is a fine line. I think you need to have get it together talks with yourself on a daily basis. But you don't need to say when you're having your get it together talk with yourself, I'm horrible, I'm this, I'm lazy. No, none of the self-beration, hopefully that's a word, none of the self-beration is actually going to move you forward. The get it together talk followed by immediate action will, but I digress. The one reason you're not changing what you say you want to change comes from Tony Robbins in his book, Awaken the Giant. And he talks about the fact that nobody changes anything until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. And unfortunately for a lot of people, they see the pain of changing, of moving into a new uncharted territory, of having to do the work that they haven't had to do. They see the pain of change as being much more painful than the pain of the comfort zone that they're stuck in, right? You've heard the saying, the devil I know is better than the devil I don't. Well, most people live that way. And so if you ever really want to know what is the real reason that you are shooting all over yourself and you're not changing the things that you say you want to change, it has nothing to do with laziness. It has nothing to do with lack of motivation. It has nothing to do with you don't have enough time. Please do not give me that excuse. You don't have enough time. Everybody's got the same 24 hours, just say. It has nothing to do with that. You know what it has everything to do with? The fact that you think it is less painful to stay in the shit you're in than to actually do the work of making the changes you keep saying you want to make. That's what it is. So how do you actually handle that? Let me tell you super quick how you handle it. You got to bring on the pain, and you've got to inflict, I did say inflict the pain in staying in the current situation that will make you so uncomfortable that you will force yourself to take action. Now, one caveat to that, most people won't do the work of leveraging their pain. Most people won't bring on the pain of staying the same. They won't ask themselves questions like, where is my life going to be if I continue to stay where I am in 6 months, in 1 year, in 3 years, in 5 years? Sometimes people answer that in a really, standoffish way. But no, I want you to ask yourself those questions and live it. Like, if you keep doing what you're doing, in 5 years, where will you be? Ooh, will you still be here? Will you still be stuck? Will you still be doing the same old, same old? Will you still have 50 extra pounds on you that you can't stand? Will you still be only in sweatpants? Will you not be wearing the same clothes? Will you still be feeling tired all the time? If you don't change where you are, will your money still look the same? Will you not have bought a house? Will you still be rent? I mean, you need to sit with it. And I'm talking, this is like 15, 20, 30 minutes where you just ask these questions and you let them land and you allow yourself to feel the mediocrity and get to a point where you can't stomach it anymore. And then repeat that process as many days as you need to until you start to take action consistently. Because yes, will it be painful to make yourself live that for a little bit? Sure it will. But you know what's more painful? Winding up in 5 years exactly where you are today and wondering where the time went and why you wasted your life, and looking around at other people who actually did the work when you refused to, and knowing that you could already be there or beyond them, but it's because of you that you didn't wind up where you wanted to be. Don't live that way. Life is short. And at the end of the day, instead of shitting all over yourself, instead of berating yourself for how lazy you are, how dumb you are, how this you are, none of that's going to fix this. You know what's going to fix it? You inflicting the pain of staying in the situation on yourself right now, really feeling it, and then making where you are more painful than where you could be, so you actually get up and take the actions necessary to get to where you want to be. Now listen, one final thing. Lots of people are in a pretty comfortable place. There's not that much pain with where they are, even though they say they want to be light years ahead of where they are. Where they are is pretty good. I'm going to say you're in the most dangerous territory if where you are is pretty good. So you better get serious about finding the pain in pretty good so you can actually go from good to great. That's what I want to say.